Let's compare the fractions 4/6 and 5/6. We're trying to figure out which one is bigger. Now remember, with fractions, we're always starting with one whole. I picture it as like a cake or a chocolate bar, something like that. Let's call it a cake for this one. Now let's look at those two fractions, and we want to make sure we understand the meaning of the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is the top number. It tells you how many pieces of that cake you are going to get. So 4 pieces versus 5 pieces. Now let's look at the denominator. The denominator shows us how to cut up the cake in the first place. It tells you basically how many people you have to share that cake with to begin with. So let's take that denominator and model that on our cake. We've got a full cake there. That looks pretty great. It's my birthday. I want all that cake, but I can't. I got to share it with 6 people total. That means I have to cut the cake into slices, right? And since I'm sharing with 6 people, that's how big each piece is going to be. Now, if the denominator were different on the right-hand side, you'd have to cut up that cake differently, and they might be little tiny pieces, so who cares how many you get if they're tiny? But since the denominator is the same, you're actually going to cut it up the same way. So the pieces are actually the same on the left and the same on the right because it's a 6 and a 6. So the sizes of the pieces are the same. The question is just who gets more pieces. So go back to that numerator, and we're going to fill in our fraction. On the left, you're getting 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the right, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see that one of those is more than the other. Remember, if the denominator is the same, just look for the one that's more pieces because it's going to be split up the same no matter what, and the pieces will be the same size. So now let's draw our greater than or less than symbol. I usually think of it like a Pac-Man or an alligator, and it's going to eat the bigger fraction.